Okay, so this is the last step in the process of putting the doors together. Everything's been cut for the glass. The hinges are cut in. All the sizes are correct. All of the routing for the shape of the door is done. And the last thing that I do is actually put them together. In this particular case, there are different ways to put together doors. You can dowel them, which is something I might show you at another time on another door set. You can biscuit join them. You can nail them. There's a number of different ways to connect door parts to make the door. In this particular case, the easiest way for me to do this, because of the joint that I have, it's an open face joint, so I can accommodate the glass. I'm actually putting screws into the face, a 3-inch screw through with glue, and that's plenty with the joint that I have. Once that 3-inch screw gets locked in there and the glue sets up, that's going to be as strong as the dickens. It's really a strong joint. Okay, so I've already done, this side is done. If you look at the end, I've actually countersunk a big hole, because at the end, once everything is done, I'm going to take a wood plug. It's an oak wood plug, and I'm going to glue it right into that hole. And then, since these doors are getting painted, once I sand everything down, the plug goes away and you don't see it. Alright, so this is the last step. I'll show you just a little bit. I already pre-drilled the screws, and again, as always, a very good amount of glue is necessary. Can't stress that enough, because the glue is doing every bit as much, if not more at times, than the screws. When you dowel pieces together, that's putting 2 pieces of spiral dowel together. Same idea as a screw, only you're using wood instead of metal. And it needs a generous portion of glue so that when it sets up, it's solid. Now I'll put the joints together. And what I find helpful for me at times, I could do that by hand, but my hands are starting to hurt a little bit today. So I'll just clamp this down here like that. And I've already pre-drilled everything so that it will accept the screw without cracking. Everything has to be, especially with maple, the screws really have to be pre-drilled, because maple is a hardwood, but it's brittle as well, and it's easy to split. So I've got the one side all set up, ready to go. Make sure that the end is flush. And then I really draw that screw as tight as I can, because I want it to really, really grab. And then before I turn this over and clean up the glue, I'll do the same thing here. Make sure the joint is good and flush. It takes a lot of force to put these together well, which is why oftentimes my wrists and my hands really feel my job. So the last bit here is just kind of cleaning up the glue, because this glue will get in the way of everything. Painting, anything I have to do with the glass, I don't want the glue to dry on there. So I clean that up real good. Now on the other side, if you look at that, there's a little bit of glue there, but the joint is nice and tight. And what I'm going to do at the end, not today, but then I will sand these just like I did with the face frames. And if you look at that, there's a very, very nice little door. And in the back, it's already pre-drilled for the hinges, and it's ready for the glass. And I have my pre-sawn groove for my rubber molding that's going to hold the glass in place. And that's a very nice little door. The only thing left to do is to actually hang it in the enclosure with the other door, and then make sure everything works right. And then the very last thing I'll do is take the doors off, take the face frames back off, and paint everything. And then at the very end I can put everything back together. So for me, the next part, which I won't record here, is putting in the plugs where the screw holes are. And this is a very, very tight. you would have to really work hard. You'd have to do a lot to break this. And once the glue sets up, it's like iron. So anyways, that's one of my first doors for this 5/4 door for these cabinets. And these are expensive little guys. They cost a lot of money if you go to order them. I could order these, but I probably would be about $120, $140 each, especially if I got the hinges drilled and if I had them pre-primed. If you're staining, it's different, but if you're painting like I'm doing, you can get them pre-primed, but every bit of that costs a little bit extra. It adds to the price of the door. And if you have a small order, it's going to cost a little more than if you have a big order with a lot of doors. But like an order like this with 12 doors would cost a pretty penny. So I've actually made the money myself, and as you can see, they're very nice doors. I will show you more later. Have a good day.